Hey, what's going on? So today we're going to be doing another budget deck profile, this time of Poverty Milky Homes, or I guess Glitter Green from Bang Dream. I tried the deck a bit. It's a newly released set, but it performed pretty well, and the deck's actually really good for what it is. It's also really cheap to build, and for those players who are fans of the Milky Home playstyle, I always wanted to try Milky but never got around to it. I highly recommend this deck because half the tools play exactly like how Milky does early, and there are lots of similarities. Yeah, and that being said, let's move on to the deck profile. We'll go through the cards and then talk about how the deck plays a bit, I guess. So first, play 4 copies of this card. So it's a 001K. It's essentially a clone of the Ellie back row that Milky has. So whenever a card is put in your level once per turn, you can pay 1 stock, check up to 4 cards, and take one of the glitter green members. So it only hits your green cards in the deck. Do keep in mind of that. And then the other effect is if you're level 3 or higher and you play the Go Bar Climax, you can blind stock one, and then all your characters get 500 power for the turn. Very good card. Play forward to get it always. You want it as fast as you can. It's how you mill through the deck and get advantage as well. Next, we play 4 copies of this red 002K. It's just the free runner from the Bane Dream Trial deck. Runners are good. You should know why. Play 4. Next, we have 2 copies of this 0015. So it has 2 on-play effects. The first one is you can take the last card of your opponent's stock, send it to waiting room, and then choose another card from the waiting room and put it back where the stock was. And the other one is on play, you can discard a card and take a green card from your clock, add it to your hand, then take 1 damage. So it helps you hand filter. You could discard any climaxes you have stuck in your hand, especially since the deck does play gold bars. So sometimes you get those stuck and you want to discard it. Also helps you set up for level 1. Pretty good card. And then we have 2 copies of this 005K, or not 5K, 500. So it also has 2 on-play effects. The first one is you may pay 2 stock and then salvage one of the glitter green member characters. And then the third effect is 1 stock bond to the level 3 glitter green Yuri. So the deck does play a stock charge combo, and this is a very strong card advantage tool. It helps you convert your stock into real cards. And it's also very good late game. If you have your level 3s out of the deck, you can salvage back some of your healers. Pretty good to have. Yes, we have 2 of these 0025. I think Tai was her name. I don't know how to pronounce it though. I don't watch Bang Dream. I'm sorry. I just play this deck because it looked funny. So the effect is on play, pay 1 stock, discard 1 card, search your deck for a music character. So just a standard drop searcher. It's actually pretty necessary in this deck. It helps you search any card that's not glitter green, since your other cards don't really get them. And it can also tutor any of your glitter green characters as well. So just very strong card overall. And then next we have 2 of these 004Ks. Its effect is on play mill 2. If you mill climax, it gets rested for the turn. It is actually pretty necessary in the deck because it just helps you kill opposing oversizes, and you don't have any suiciders or anything, so that's like your only real answer to them. And next, for level 1s, we play 4 copies of this 105K. So the effect is climax combo with the gold bag trigger. Let me find it. So this card. So when you play the climax, this card gives all your other characters the ability on reverse blind stock. So it's how you build advantage in this deck. While it is a blind stock, it's not that big of a deal as long as you don't overdo it. Sometimes you do stock a couple climaxes, but it's not so bad, and you can usually paint them out with various means in the deck. Do note that this doesn't give itself on reverse blind stock. It gives it to your other characters. Although if you do have 2 of them, they give each other the ability as well. So this deck is actually very good at punishing your opponent if they rush you at level 0. Because sometimes you just draw that hand and you drop like 3 of these and they kill all their zeros for 6 free stock. So you have a total of 9 after the turn. And it just punishes them very hard for making aggressive level 0 plays. And then next we have the other level 1 beat stick you play. So it's a 1055. It can't side attack, but every time you put a card in your level, it gets 1/5 power, similar to how the Milky Beat Sticks works. And this kind of just enables your combo because this gives these on reverse blind stock, and these can hit very high levels of power. Yeah, it's a very solid card overall. You always want multiples of these when you hit level 1 usually. Like, if my opponent hits me to level 1 first, you can like greed with multiples of these. But if they're the one getting to level 1 first, you usually want like 2 of these and then 1 of these, because these will actually kill stuff while this is a lot weaker. Next we play 3 copies of this. So it's your other glitter green back row. It goes with this card, so you want to have 1 of each in your back. It's a 1/1/3/5. What it does is if you're level 3 or higher, clowns come with a gold bar, similar to how this card is. You can give a character 1k power and on reverse draw 1 for the turn. And second effect is when you put a card in your level zone, you can choose one of your green characters and give it 2k power. So that's pretty important. And then the third effect is you can rest 2 green characters and swap a card in your level with 1 in your waiting room. So this is generally how the deck pumps this card. You use this to rest these 2 and swap a card, and then in your level, and when you do, this gets 1/5 power. You can give this 2k power to her as well, pumping it to 9k, or we could split it up and give it to another character. And this can also pay 1 stock to check for and take a glitter green member, so you can get advantage that way. You usually want 3 stock when you hit level 1, because like you want this in the back, and then when you hit level 1, you want to, on your opponent's turn, you want to pay 1 stock, check 4 cards, and then take a card. On your turn, you need 1 stock to play this card, and then when you use her effect to level swap, you want to pay another stock to get another card with this. So 3 stock is like the magic number to hit level 0, and it is worth playing more aggressively to hit that number a lot of times. And you don't care about spending that stock, since you do play a stock charge combo. You get it all back if your combo goes off anyways. And then next we play 4 copies of this. It's like I'm gonna say it's a worse version of the Milky Homes backup, because that one is 3k while this is 1/0/1k. But while the Milky backup forces you to swap a climax into your level, this just swaps a card in your level with any green card in your waiting room. And by swapping cards in your level, this also enables the other cards in your deck. You can assign, when you use this backup and you swap a card, you can assign power with this card. You can also assign, you can also check for and take another card with this to mill out any potential damage. I would be careful with doing so though, because sometimes you mill out climaxes. So at times, if you think you're gonna do that, you might not want to use this, especially since if you have enough cards. If you need more cards, then obviously go ahead with it. But yeah, and this also pumps this 1/0 when you use this backup. Since you put a card in level, this will get another 1/5. So you want 4 copies for consistency. It's how you annoy your opponent, just like how Milky does. And then the last card in level 1, I'm playing 1 copy of the spread event. So I believe if you don't have 2 or more music characters, you can't play this from your hand. But that's not really a condition. You always will. It's an event counter for 2k, and it gives the ability pay 1 stock, check up to 2 cards, and then take a card and discard the rest to the waiting room to the character that you counter this on. So if you counter over opposing character, it kind of replaces itself by paying 1 stock. It's mainly just a placeholder for something else. I'll explain it later, but it's an okay card to play. It's come up a lot of times in my games actually. It's not too bad. And then next for level 2s, I only play 2 cards. So one is this blue free fresh counter, just always nice to have. Helps you out of tight situations. And then the other one is this 2/2 AK. So what this does is when a card is placed in your level, it gets power equal to x500, where x equals the number of green characters you have. So if you have a full green field, this gets 2/5 power. It also has a hand encore, where you just discard any green card. So you can discard your gold bars and stuff that you have stuck in hand for this card's encore as well. This is also a placeholder. So this card and this card, I'm thinking of taking them out for the 3/2 red early play. The early play condition is just if you have 4 other music characters, and then it's 3/2 9k, it gets 1k while on board if you have other music characters, and it's also a heal on play. So that's just a lot nicer than having like these. It gives you momentum option as well as a heal to sustain a level 2, which this card does not do. But at the same time, it's not a green character, so it doesn't work with a lot of other cards in the deck. And that's why I don't have them yet. Like, I'm thinking of maybe getting them, but otherwise, I'm just having these for now. And for level 3s, first we play 4 copies of this card. So this is kind of like the finisher of the deck. On play, it's a draw 2, ditch 1. Climax combo with the gold bar trigger, gets clock kick on reverse. And when you put a climax in your level zone, it gets 2/5 power. So you can switch it in with your back row on your turn and do it with the counter on your opponent's turn. Or if you're about to refresh on your opponent's turn, you can use the counter to switch it out after you've used it on your turn. And this card gets really fat. It's 12k if you trigger its effect just by itself, which kind of enables its clock kick. Pretty solid card overall. And then next we have the other level 3 you play. So this just is a 3/2 10k healer, and it synergizes really well with your clock kick because the second effect is Climax combo. When you play the go bar, you can pay 1 stock, choose another glitter green character and then herself. Like to choose another glitter green member that's not her and herself, and they get 1/5 power and on reverse burn 1. So generally for level 3 you want to have 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of this, and then 1 of this in the back row, and Clowns combos with the go bar. So when you play the go bar, you'll trigger the effects of all of these cards. And then you would blind stock 1 with this, which helps pay out for these cards' effect, and you would use these to give this more power and burn 1 on reverse for each of these, which gives the deck a very high finishing ceiling, actually, because if you get the full combo off, this swings for 3, clock kicks, and burns 1 twice. This swings for 3, burns 1 on reverse, swings for 3, and burns 1 on reverse. That's 7 instances of damage with a clock shoot, which is very, very strong. It has a high chance of killing your opponent outright just from 3/0. Of course, things that make this deck sad are anti-damage, since everything is on reverse, as well as sack counters. If they sack the target that this card's attacking, you don't get clock kick, you don't get your burns either, so that's very, very sad, obviously. But otherwise, it's a very strong late game option. That's also what makes the deck really fun, because you actually are rewarded for getting stock and keeping up advantage throughout the game. And for climaxes, just 4 of the gold bar for the level 3 combo, and 4 of the gold bag for the level 1 combo. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks.